I left school Christmas 1956. I was 15. On the 31st of December, I got a knock on the door about 10:30, and it was Mr. Headley from Lawson Beatty Tugs. Kind of joined the Waysider, tug called the Waysider. I says, yes. He says, line the stand of boys, take some bait with you. Can you scull? That was always the question. Can you scull? I said, oh, I can scull. Okay. And off I went, and I joined the Wayside, and that was the start of my career as a riverman. Well, I was a tugboat lad actually, and the tugboat lad used to pick up the crew in the little boat, scull them from the shore, and then we'd had the job to cook, keep the cabins clean, washing up, peel potatoes, things like that. Just keep the inside of the tug, the accommodation, keep it all nice and ship-shape, as they say. And then you progressed. When you're about 20, you went to a deckhand, or you went down the stokehold, you know, just chucking coal in the fires and keeping the steam and that. And then a tugboat is tow ships in and out of the Tyne. Used to, when they were undocking or going into the dock, bring them in from sea, take them back to sea. When I started, in 56, there was about 40 tugs working night and day. But since then, as the years went on, they developed these bow propellers and all kinds of thrusters and means of turning the ship round without tugs, and that was the demise of the tugs. And of course the shipyards closed, the shipbuilding yards finished, coal trade finished, and now there's only 3 working tugs on the Tyne now. Very sad. It breaks my heart to see the way it's come to this. It does. You're working all hours of the night, every day, towing ships in, towing ships out. Newcastle Quay, big ships used to go to Newcastle Quay. Port boats, the Star boats, B&Is, Brocklebanks, Greenholmen, Cane boats, KNS, Cane Do. And then shipping industry just declined over the years. Houses now, they're building houses on these where they build ships.
Why do I fish? I fish to get out in the fresh air. Nice to meet other people who've got the same types of hobbies, and also there's nothing better than freshly caught fish. Mainly fish on South Shields Pier, the Groyne, maybe it's a walkway up all the rock edges up to Marsden and Whitburn. Good areas to fish. The range of fish is mainly codlins, coalfish. They come in abundance in the winter. Also you get big shoals of whitings. Whitings are ferocious little things that eat a lot of mackerel. You bait up with the fish bait that you catch in the mackerel in the summer. And we call the whitings chickens of the sea because they're a lovely sweet tasting fish. Lots of people think they're nicer than codlins. A lot of boats you find when you're on the South Shields Pier casting into the river. If you get a good cast, you get some boats coming in really close and you've got to pick your rod up and reel in, or you normally get snagged on the boat. Mainly the sailing yachts that go out, they normally come in close, and obviously it's an accident, but they sometimes take the line, and there has been rods went over the pier wall with them taking them out. The Nissan car carriers, they're going out, they don't really interfere with the fishing, but they're just well out of the way because they've got to keep to the certain depths of the river which are well out of casting range for a lot of people. The spinner's like a lure with a treble hook on the back of it, and as you cast it out you let it sink for a bit, and then you just reel it in and then let it sink and reel it in and let it sink, and then by that time the mackerel will have mistaken it for a small fish. I remember fishing with one lad, Brian, a few years ago, and we were spinning for mackerel, and as he was spinning his lure, he shouted over, "Ouch!" So I ran over and seen what the problem was, and he had the spinner stuck in the back of his ear. So I ran back over, he says, "Where are you going?" I says, "I'm going to get my camera," and I took a photo of the spinner sticking in the back of his ear. So I got the pliers and yorked it out.
became involved in the sailing at South Shields because of I was a youth worker and I used to work with young people. I found it worked really well with a certain, well for all young people, but with a certain type of young people who struggled at school. The outdoors activities worked really well with them. I've been involved about 15 years. All the equipment's provided by the council. It's a council-run project, but it's run voluntarily on a Saturday by council staff, but for all young people and adults actually, with touring adults, parents come down with their kids. Just people who maybe haven't got the money to go to the sailing club and join and learn to sail and want to sail and use the river, because we live on the coast and it's amazing how many people don't get the opportunity around here to do that. All the young people can come down who've had an opportunity to try it, and they want to volunteer and learn, become instructors, get their qualifications in powerboat and jet skiing, sailing, all sorts of things. We've had about 10 young people move on to be instructors in sailing, powerboat and jet skiing, and they just put their time back in for the qualifications, so more young people get the opportunity to come down and have the offer of free sailing, basically. Free sailing, free powerboat and free jet skiing. Depending on weather, it's a beautiful bay because you're protected, the sea's protected from all ways apart from the north. The wind's coming from the north, it gets a bit choppy, but the piers protect the bay. You got a lot of big ships coming in, so we'll have to be prepared to keep out of their way. Big vessels have right of way because they're restricted by depth, so they've got to stay in the main channel, so we have to stay out of their way. It can be a little bit dangerous at times, but we have the jet skis and the power boats to stop the sailing boats going across the river when the big vessels are coming in, to keep it out of the way. And if we get into any bother, we'll just leave the boat and get the people out.